coming to Toole Sculpture Works.
Thanks for having me.
Michelle and Tara. I'm Matt Toole, and I'm a sculptor, an artist. I paint some, but I'm a maker and traveler of sorts when I have time, when we're not quarantined. And I mostly work with metal and found materials. And this is my studio, which is a great place at the dairy, at the Roberts Dairy, and it's therapeutic. It's a good plot. You know, it's funny, my wife says I'm a hoarder, and I don't think it's yet a problem. I understand that. I collect. And I save things because I see potential. I see the value in the material. Almost too much, and now I've covered my entire studio with things that are old tools, bones, bits of wood that have an amazing kind of bend to them. I'm really kind of drawn to dynamic objects that have this implied movement. So I look for texture and color, and I try to find things that have even kind of a sentimental value. I hang on to a lot of things from my father and my grandfather, and they might be worthless to most people, but I keep those items because I think that one day it could be a voice in an object, and objects communicate just like words, just like color, just like music, dance, movement. It's another way, and that's, as a sculptor, it's a way of creating a voice. What it was often can speak to what it can also become, but I like to sometimes subvert what it was and juxtapose. I know that's the art word of the century, but to contrast it with other objects. I think that makes it. It changes what it means, and to some degree it can have a humorous slant to it. If it's got a great sense of humor, then I'm all about it. So if it could be funny, then I'm for it. So. Process is really like vast kind of description, and some of the processes that go on in here I can't explain. I don't think anyone wants to know about that either, but there is the value in the material, and it's not necessarily like it's a precious metal or it's a gemstone. It's the value could be in where it was collected, what it once represented, or what it once was. All of that kind of plays into the found object work. I'm very much a metal worker. I love the materials of metals, steel, bronze, casting iron, aluminum, working with stainless steel. These are stainless steel. That's just really amazing what you can do with metal and how it's so malleable and transformable. And I think transformable is a big part of the process. I want to transform things and kind of redefine them. And I think that goes to further conversations with the exhibition and what's going on with those parts that are put in that context of along the continuum installation. I wanted that. I wanted it to be so overwhelming in that space. You're in the space and all of that texture that is the packaging material, the cardboard packaging material. I wanted that to really overwhelm and kind of be the kind of baseline experience. And then you explore by opening the doors, and that you enter into a whole new world. And I wanted it to talk about the vastness of everything, while also the interrelatedness of everything, and how these worlds, while different, they are part of the same experience. And to some degree, and I'm no astrophysicist, nor do I really understand that fully, but that's the kind of thing that I ponder oftentimes. And with along the continuum, I believe that we are somewhere in a scale and proportion kind of scenario. We are somewhere along a continuum of a macro, which is the universe, and the micro, which is, things much smaller than us. And in the scale of the universe, we are microscopic. And I ponder those things, and then I go like, whoa, I gotta take a break because I can't handle it. But it's kind of an existential kind of explanation for me. I think we may graduate to a greater understanding of what the universe actually is. So along the continuum is like, where are we in that, in this universe? Where are we? And as organisms living on an organism, with organisms that live on and inside us, with different types of microscopic, like bacteria in our gut and things like that, which is known to be a collective, the gut brain and all that. So there were a few of those boxes, and one of the things that I want to talk about is that the dimension of the box. And John mentioned this when talking to him, that some boxes you open them and they're just, everything's right up front, and then some box you open and it goes way in the distance, and that gives you a little bit of a surprise at times as well. And so in a few of those boxes, the scale was designed to be little characters, a little scene, and working with my awesome ladies that help in the studio, they were adding some of their ideas. So we made a couple of little scenes, which are kind of like moments in time. So working on that as scale, you open this door after you experience this overwhelming kind of highly textural thing that's unified with a single color. You open the door, the glass, and then you experience something else. And I was thinking about this last night a little bit. You also open the door to the gallery and you go into yet another room. So the window is like you're entering into that experience, that installation. You're entering the installation literally, as we do. But that kind of, you're in the piece when you're in that space, and it's almost as if we could open that window and we'd be looking back in. We've got sculptures in progress. Mostly we do metalwork, so we've got a forge where this is made by a SCAD professor, and then we've got a furnace for melting metal, which we're going to activate sooner or later. Lots of materials. It's always good to have an anvil, because if you can't fix it with a hammer, it can't be fixed. That's not true completely. Then we've got various kind of forming machines that cut and bend and roll metal. Welders. We've got drill presses, drills, saws, other sculptural elements. We have prize-winning assistants, which this is Tara and Michelle, who were extraordinarily important in the crafting of along the continuum?
I'll go first. No, you go first.
Okay. My name is Michelle Muller. I'm a creator of things. I like how things function and work. So that's what got me into SCAD and into the industrial design and design for sustainability program. And then I like being immersed in nature and seeing how nature takes over things and how nature is always a survivor. And so I wanted to learn more about that, and that's why I joined Victory Gardens. And then from going from Victory Gardens over to working with Matt, I delved in a little deeper on how nature plays in and functions with different materials, and I just love the functionality of this craft.
I'm Tara Watkins, and I met Matt through one of my professors at Savannah State when I started there as an old student. And I always wanted to be a furniture designer, and still do, but entering with Matt kind of like opened a world of like different ways to express yourself through art and like build sculptures and learn all different things to do with metal. It's been really exciting and awesome. With the doors in the beginning, like we built a library out front that's just made of the old dairy baskets that they like milk bottles inside of, and we created little doors around them that made them into like little shelves or little cabinets for people. And I think it kind of sparked the idea of like using things we already had around the dairy into becoming new things. And then it just progressed over time to becoming like little worlds that people could peek their head inside of. And that's what it started it, and then got into like picking things around the shop and like what made them cool and weird and fascinating, and putting them piece by piece together and collaborating. And seeing how it looked different between all of us, getting an idea from a different object.
There's so many runoffs you can do just from this eclectic collection wall over here. So Matt has been collecting things for his whole entire life. There's like a little dice, a 20-sided dice in the structure in one of the boxes, and he had it ever since he was a little kid, and he played Dungeons and Dragons with it. He wasn't very good at it, but he loved that dice, and so that's what he carried along with him for his whole entire life, and he knew there was a reason for it. So that's what everything in this shop has. It's eclectic, it's weird, you're like, what is this even doing here? This should be thrown in the trash, but it's going to be used for something. It has a purpose. So we found a purpose for everything around here, and that was really fun and exciting to see it be executed.
Even like the cardboard, the things you find that keeps your stuff in your boxes, made it into like this cool setting, which we like probably, I definitely was like, let's throw this away, and he was like, no, it's gonna be something, you just wait and see. I'm like, oh, okay.
Not a hoarder, but a collector.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the opportunity to be an artist, to make artwork, and I have thought about this at length in other ways, but it's a privilege to be an artist. It's a privilege to make work, and when other people appreciate it and create opportunities for me to be creative, that's really something I'm very thankful for. I think about people in other regions of the world that have to fight just to survive. We really, there's a level of gratitude I have to be able to come to this place every day and delve into my creative side. And sometimes that's an awesome place. Sometimes that place is pretty scary.
Yeah. On like a personal side of it, making it was really fun because Matt is like the mastermind of like, he has the vision, and Michelle and Matt have worked with each other for almost like a little over a year or something, so seeing them work side by side and then play off of each other was really cool, and like just like amplifying each other's ideas, or like anything that I feel excited about I still feel really new, and Matt and Michelle can take it and develop it in ways that like I wouldn't have thought of in the beginning. So, and then we have, late night beers and talk about all the things we did really well, and you get feedback on, and you get to feel good about the things you did, and get to learn from the things you didn't do so well.
And sometimes your boxes get too complicated and you add too much stuff into it.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, maybe less is more. Let's tone this down a little bit.
Or you use the wrong paint.
Yeah. Or you move stuff around and then you can't find where it goes.
Find it anywhere.
Thank you for watching this episode of Sulfur Artist Talks. Sulfur Studios is a project of Arts Southeast, a nonprofit whose mission is to make Savannah a destination for art and culture in the Southeast by supporting established and emerging artists, engaging a diverse community with creative programming, and developing awareness and appreciation of the arts. This content is made possible by viewers like you. If you'd like to support our mission, please visit us at www.sulfurstudios.org to learn more. You can also reach out to us via email at info@sulfurstudios.org. On behalf of Sulfur Studios, I wish you well and hope to see you next time. Thank you.